Hello viewers, I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, stand before you with the topic child trafficking. Its meaning, causes, ties, impacts and measures to control it. It is found in +3 5th semester Ethics and Value paper, and the name of the Ethics and Value paper is Vulnerable sections of society, understanding their issues. But before I discuss child trafficking, I want to inform my viewers that name of my channel is @Dilip Kumar Pal 9375. If you will search this channel in Google or YouTube, you will find videos relating to +3 first semester to +3 6th semester political science honors, +3 first semester to 5th semester ethics and values, +3 first semester to 2nd semester political science general elective, and environmental studies of +3 first semester, and some videos of political science of +2 first year and second year. All my videos are in English and Odia. In any video you will find in Odia, be sure its English version is there. Any video you will find in English, be sure its Odia version is there. So any video you want, just write my name Dilip Kumar Pal and the name of the topic in YouTube or Google. You will get both Odia and English video. Let us start. Child trafficking. What is child trafficking? Child trafficking is a major problem related to children. Child trafficking is a major problem related to children. It is so much dangerous that on the basis of a report, 1.2 million children are trafficked every year worldwide. According to NCRB, National Crime Record Bureau, in India, in every 8 minutes, one child disappears for the child trafficking purpose. So far as children are concerned, they face a lot of problems, or various types of problems are related to children. Among these, child trafficking is a major problem. And about child trafficking, it is said that 1.2 million children are trafficked every year worldwide. 1.2 million children are trafficked every year worldwide. And in India, in every 8 minutes, one child disappears for child trafficking purpose. So, child trafficking is a major problem for the children, and it has been banned in 158 nations. Let us start. What is child trafficking? Child trafficking, meaning of child trafficking. Child trafficking is a plus of two words like child and trafficking. Child means any person below the age of 18 years, and trafficking means act of buying or selling goods illegally. So child trafficking means where children are tricked, deceived, cheated, forced or persuaded to leave their house and are transported and then exploited, forced to work and sold. So child trafficking means it is a plus of two words, child and trafficking. Child means any person who is below the age of 18 years, and trafficking means act of buying or selling goods illegally. Child trafficking is a plus of two words, child and trafficking. Child means any person who is below the age of 18 years. Trafficking means act of buying or selling goods illegally. Act of buying or selling goods illegally. So child trafficking means where children are tricked, forced or persuaded to leave their homes. Children are tricked, cheated, forced or persuaded to leave their house and are transported and then exploited forced to work and sold. So child trafficking is a clause of two words. One is child, other one is trafficking. Child means any person who is below the age of 18 years. Trafficking means buying or selling of goods illegally. So child trafficking means when children were tricked, deceived, or persuaded to leave their house and they are transported to other places and they are engaged in different type of work. They are exploited and they are forced to work. So child trafficking means when children are persuaded to leave their house and then they are transported to another place and they are engaged in different type of works. They are exploited and they are engaged in different type of notorious work. It is known as child trafficking. So child trafficking means illegally taking children from their house and they are engaged in different type of work. They are exploited. They are engaged in different type of notorious work. They are engaged in drugs. They are engaged in child soldiers. They are engaged in different households by giving cheap wages. So it is known as child trafficking. Female children are engaged mainly in sex work, marriage and organ trade as well as criminal activity. When female children were taken illegally from their house and they are engaged in different type of sex work and marriage, they are given marriage, they are forcibly engaged in marriage. Then they are engaged in organ trade. Their organs were taken, and female children were engaged in different type of criminal activity. Whereas male children are engaged in labor and beggars. So when female children were trafficked and they were engaged in different type of sex work, they are involved in marriage and they are engaged in various type of criminal activity. This is all about the female children. So far as male children are concerned, they are engaged in different type of criminal activity and they are engaged as cheap labor and beggar. So UNICEF, United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, has given the nice definition of child trafficking. Child trafficking means any person below the age of 18 years who is recruited, transported, harbored or received for the purpose of exploitation within or outside the country. So according to UNICEF, child trafficking means whenever children will be taken from their homes and they are transported, they are taken to another places and they are engaged there in different type of work. They are exploited and they are engaged in various type of criminal activity. It is known as the child trafficking. So we are clear about the meaning of child trafficking. Now discuss causes of child trafficking. Why child trafficking is made? Why children are taken out from their homes? Number one, poverty. Due to poverty, children are deprived from basic needs. So they are persuaded to leave house and are easily given job in cheap rate and are used in various illegal purposes. So first cause of child trafficking is poverty. In poor families, children are deprived from basic needs of life. So as they are deprived from basic needs of life, they are persuaded to leave their house and they are taken and they are engaged in various types of low paid jobs. So poverty is a reason. Number two, profit and greed. Our children can be easily forced and with less wage they can be used. Child trafficking is made. Our children can be easily forced. Even if they will be forced, they will not say anything. And they will be given low wage. So it is a very profitable work for the rich people, business people. Number 3, lack of education. Our children of poor family are not educated. They are easily deceived and child trafficking is bad. Third factor responsible for child trafficking is the education. Our children of poor family are not educated. They are easily cheated and they are taken from their house and they are engaged in different type of low-paid jobs and they are exploited. Number 4, gender. Gender is another cause of child trafficking. Gender is another cause. Child traffickers target girls because they can be engaged as sex workers and target boys to be engaged as cheap labor. So child soldiers, cheap labor, child soldiers and drug trade. So another cause of child labor, child trafficking is the gender. So child traffickers target girls because if they will take girls from their house, girls can be engaged in various type of sex work. They can be engaged in different type of prostitution work. And they target boys because boys can be engaged in various type of cheap labor. They will be given low wage and they will be engaged like adult, but they will be given low wage. Again, they will be engaged as child soldiers. Then they can be engaged in the drug trade. So it is another cause. Then now we are clear about the meaning of child trafficking, causes of child trafficking. Now we'll discuss types of child trafficking. What are the types? Number 1, forced labor. In this category, children are forcibly employed in various work with cheap wages. So the first type of child trafficking is the forced labor. Some children are forced to work in a place with low wage. So some children are, so in this category, some children are found in different type of work where they are given low wage. So in this category, children are forcibly employed in various work with cheap rate. So in the category of forced labor, there are some children who are engaged in work with a very low wage. Number 2, child soldier. In this category, children are engaged as soldiers even in the front line where there is no chance of survival. Another category of child trafficking is the child soldier. Some children are engaged as soldiers and they are placed in the front line where there is no chance of survival. Then number 3, sex trade. In this category, girls are found more in comparison to boys. Another category of child trafficking is the sex trade. In the sex trade, basically, girls children are found. Girls children are more in sex trade than boys. Then the fourth one is county line. In this category, children are engaged in drug trade and disappear for days, week, month, traveling from one region to another. Another category of child trafficking is the county line. In the county line, some children are engaged in drugs and they disappear for days, months, year for moving one region to another by taking drugs, by dog trade. Then the organ harvesting. In this category, organs are taken from children and transplanted in high-paying customer. Then another category of child trafficking is the organ harvesting. Sometimes from the poor children, organs are taken and they are transplanted in high-paying customer. Then another one is the slavery. Fifth category is the slavery. In this category, children are engaged in household work. Another category of child trafficking is the slavery. In this category, children are engaged in household works, cleaning utensils, scavenging, etc. Debt bondage. In this category, children are engaged to repay debt of the family. Some category of children are engaged in some jobs to repay debt of the family. So these are the categories of child trafficking. Now see, impacts of child trafficking. Whenever children will be engaged in hazardous work, what impacts it has on the children? Number 1, physical and psychological abuse. Children who are trafficked are beaten, tortured, raped, not even given bare needs of life. It affects their physical and psychological development. So first impact of child trafficking is that whenever children will be engaged in different type of jobs, they are beaten, they are raped, and they are given severe punishments, and they are also deprived from basic needs. So it affects their physical and psychological development. Number two, lack of fundamental rights. Trafficked children are not given right to take decision, thought, expression. Those children are trafficked, those children are taken out. They are not given, they are deprived from basic fundamental rights. They are not allowed to speak, to take decision, to give their thought. So they are deprived from basic fundamental rights. Number three, deprived from education. Trafficked children are not allowed to attend school. Those children who are trafficked, they are not allowed to attend school. So they will remain illiterate for all time to come. Then fourth one, suffer from sexually transmitted disease. Girls engaged in prostitution suffer from sexually transmitted disease like syphilis, 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 gonorrhea, GONNO, gonorrhea, RROEA, gonorrhea, HIV. So when female children are engaged in sex work, they suffer from different types of sexually transmitted disease like HIV, gonorrhea, and syphilis, etc. and HIV. Then unwanted pregnancy. Unprotected sex leads to unwanted pregnancy. Whenever female children are engaged in sex work, it leads to unwanted pregnancy. Sometimes they are pregnant, they become pregnant. Then death, inhumanly beaten to child, and lack of food lead to their death. Sometimes they are inhumanly beaten, they are not given sufficient food, so they face the death. Okay, it leads to the death. So we are clear now. So we are clear about the meaning, causes, types, and impacts of child trafficking. Now discuss what are the laws relating to child trafficking. Number one, laws to counter child trafficking. There are some laws which have been made to control child trafficking. What are the laws? Number one, Article 23 Clause 3. Article 23 Clause 1 says, traffic in human beings and other type of forced labor is prohibited, and any contravention of this is punishable. Article 23 Clause 1 says, traffic in human beings and any type of forced labor is prohibited, and any contravention of this will be punishable. So, traffic in human beings, child trade, human trade is prohibited, and those who will violate will be punishable. Number two, IPC 1860. IPC Indian Penal Code 1860 regards child trafficking as criminal offence. IPC Indian Penal Code 1860 says child trafficking is a criminal offence. Number three, the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956. The Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956 regards child trafficking as offence. The Immoral Child Prevention Act 1956 regards child trafficking as offence. Then the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 prohibits to employ children in hazardous work. So the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 prohibits employment of children in hazardous work. Then the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2000 says that child criminal below the age of 18 years should not be given punishment. Rather, they should be made counseling to keep themselves away from criminal activity and should be kept in rehabilitation center. So, the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2000 says that child criminals should not be given punishment, rather they should be kept in rehabilitation center and they should be given counseling. They should be given advices to keep themselves away from the criminal activities. So, in this video, we have discussed about child trafficking. I request my viewers to subscribe my channel for your benefit. And those of your friends who are not aware, please aware them so some students will be benefited. Remember, by giving help to anybody, will not have any loss. Some people will be benefited. Help to people will give mental pleasure. Thank you. Have a good day.